Do you think the Sixers can still take either of the first two games in Miami without Embiid?
No, I don't see them winning a game in this series if he doesn't play. So if he misses the first two, they're going to be down 2-0. If he comes back for game 3 and he's going to be wearing obviously a mask, he's going to still has the thumb injury. And you're asking him at that point to win 4 out of 5 games. So for me, the series is over if he doesn't play the first 2 games. I just don't see how a team that predicates their entire offense on this dominant big that wins every matchup in front of him, that draws multiple defenders, that makes the game easier for everybody else on the floor, how you take him out of the lineup and expect we're going to have some sort of vintage roll back the clock game out of James Harden. I just don't see it. I looked it up because I was curious. James Harden in all of his playoff games for his career in Houston, which is what we're going to need him to be if you're a Philadelphia fan, going forward without Embiid, he averaged 28 points a game for his playoff career in Houston. In the last 12 games, he has not broken past 22. I don't see how all of this sudden you think James Harden's going to go back to that guy that annihilates everything in front of him, wins every matchup, gets into the paint, and gets to the line 10, 12, 15 times if that's what it requires. Hits the floater, hits the step back 3 at a high rate. I have not seen enough out of James Harden over the last month, really, to make me think he has the ability to control the game without Joel Embiid. They've got one shot to even make it interesting. The headline tomorrow cannot be about James Harden, because if it is, it's going to be about how poorly he played. The headline has to be about Tyrese Maxey. We need to come in and talk about Tyrese Maxey went for 35. Tyrese Maxey had a 40-point game. It's not going to be because James Harden is able to go to that level. I don't believe he's got that anymore. And without Joel Embiid on the floor, Stephen A., I don't see any way they win either of those first 2 games.
Go ahead, Uncle Perk.
My good brother, Tim Legler, my guy. You remember when we was on NBA Today and I told you, I said I had some type of suspicion before Game 6 that James Harden was going to go out and have the best game of the playoffs, of the series. And he did just that. 22.7 for 12 from the field, 15 dimes, 16 assists, 6 rebounds. And the thing that stood out to me the most was when they were in the half-court set, and I believe he rejected the pick and roll and went through the lane and snatched the screws out of the rim. Look, here's the thing about the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think this series is done. I actually think that they could get one game in Miami for the simple fact that it's not just James Harden that you have to look out for. You do have a young star in Tyrese Maxey who's capable of going for a 40-piece wing dinner, all flats. And then you also have another guy who is getting paid almost $200 million over the course of his contract, and Tobias Harris, right? And then you have another guy in Danny Green who also comes up big when it comes to stretching the floor, holding the corners, and knocking down three-point shots. Let's remember, though, the Miami Heat is without Kyle Lowry, okay? We don't know how healthy Jimmy Butler really is. His knee was, inflated or whatever the case may be. I'm looking at James Harden right now, and I think he has it on his mind to actually come out here and do James Harden-type things while Joel Embiid is out. All they have to do is win one, and I believe Philly is going to do that. I don't know if it's one or game 2, but I believe they're getting one game in South Beach.
I sincerely hope I'm wrong. I don't know if Philly's getting the game this series. The series. They ain't winning one of the first 2 in Miami. And Joel Embiid better come back to ensure they'll get at least one in Philly. Right now, if I had to predict, Tim Legler, I got Miami taking them out in 5. If Joel Embiid was playing, I'd have it at 6. But with him missing games, I'm going with 5. Okay? We keep forgetting. We talk so much about Joel Embiid. We've talked so much about James Harden, the evolution of Tyrese Maxey. We forgot about Miami and who they have. Now, offensively, they don't have the quote-unquote closer. You got a Jimmy Butler. You obviously got Tyler Hero. You've got Duncan Robinson, who started off the series against Miami, Atlanta, hitting about 8 or 9 threes. We got this guy, Struss, who shoot 41% from the three-point range. We know what Bam Adebayo brings to the table, the experience of P.J. Tucker, even though Kyle Lowry has been out and is expected to be out for the opening game of this series. The bottom line is this. Defensively, Who are they? They're top 5 defense in this league. And when we talk about James Harden, you know what I think about, Uncle Perk? I think about Trae Young. I think about how spectacular and cat quick that brother is with his long range and how Miami shut him down. How difficult is it going to be to shut James Harden down if you were capable of shutting down Trae Young? Because they shut him down now. And I look at it from that perspective, and I'm just saying, I'm just of the mindset. Philly could get 1, sure. If Joel Embiid is 100%, hell, they could get 2. But right now, I see them going down in 5.
Yeah, but you're looking at 2 completely different body frames. Like Trae Young wasn't ready for that physicality. James Harden just went against, when you look at the Toronto Raptors team and you look at their length and athleticism at the wing and power forward position, it's really no other team besides maybe the Boston Celtics that have that type of length and athleticism at the wing. So, yes, they did bother James Harden a little bit. But now when you get into this series, you're looking at a guy like Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson, or even Jimmy Butler. I don't believe that James Harden is afraid to get at Jimmy Butler. I don't think that Jimmy Butler is going to really alter James Harden, from getting to the lane and shooting his floater. I just think Toronto Raptors were different because of their length and size, Stephen A., and legs, but I'm giving them 1. Y'all can sit up here and count them out if y'all want to. They getting 1 in Miami.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.